We have had a jail program for approximately 50 years.
Tell me what it's like working in the jail.
It's a gritty location to work in. It's pretty raw. People are probably having some of the worst days that they're ever going to have when they're in there. So it's there on the corner in downtown Bellingham. It's a downtown Whatcom County Jail. Walk in the front door, walk into the lobby and sign in. I always make sure I sign in and say hi to Tanya, who's the awesome reception staff. First thing I have to do is look up at a camera right above the sign-in desk and press a button, and it lets me into a locked door. And then I close that door, and then I have to press another button and look at another camera. And that's basically just a security measure called a sally port. And I'm in a long hallway. The jail's pretty dimly lit. I take a left and I walk into the booking area, and that's where there's often a lot of activity. When I'm in the jail, I really need to be aware of like what's going on around me and stay out of the way of officers who are transporting people, of people who are getting their mug shots taken. I don't want to walk in front and be featured in one. So getting fingerprinted, getting booked. And there's a lot of really unhappy people right there, because I think the weight of the experience is really like hitting home. So I have to thread my way in between all those people and all that activity. And I have a mailbox, and I retrieve my kites. Kites are individual request forms that pile up by the dozens. There's not a lot of workspace. The delivery requires a lot of prep. My horizontal surfaces are my trusty carts, one of which is visible in a photo from like 20 or 30 years ago.
The same cart?
The same cart that I use every day. But yeah, I pull them out into the hallway, and I arrange two carts with flat shelves as my work surfaces, and then I roll my book cart out next to it. I'm out in the hallway. I stock my book carts. I stamp new books that I brought in. I fill my individual kite orders. I do all my work at my portable workstations. I usually travel with two carts, one book cart and one auxiliary cart that's got magazine packs and other things in it. So I serve patrons that are on 3 different floors, large open dormitories. They're called tanks. The first floor is mostly individual cells, and that's for people who have medical needs or who have behavioral mental health concerns, people who suspected of maybe having ingested drugs and they need to wait and have them pass them through. So yeah, there's a lot going on the first floor. Second floor is definitely quieter. That's a long hallway that has 6 tanks in it, and they're what are called 23-in-1 tanks. They're called 23-in-1 because the schedule is for 23 hours inside your cell and 1 hour out. And that has implications, though, for access. Given that preparing the book cart, moving the book cart, and presenting the book cart is time and resource consuming, I don't do book cart for the second floor because there's only 1 or 2 people out at a time. And it's not worth it to just go for one person. I never know who's going to be out. Usually there's actually no one out. And so what I do is I always fill kites, which are the individual requests for those tanks. But it's the only way that I can, ensure that they have equitable access.
Maybe this is a good time to talk about kites and what kind of things your patrons are asking for.
all over. It's a really broad representation of all different kinds of reading interests and tastes. Everything from James Patterson to Sophocles. And then there's people who are asking me for People magazine or Us Weekly, Rolling Stone, the Bellingham Herald, phone books.
Phone books.
Yeah. Every tank or cell has access to a phone. Some are just built into the wall. Inmates are constantly on the. I have to come up with a different word than inmates. But patrons is not accurate because not everyone is a library patron. Yeah. And incarcerated individuals doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
But yeah, phone books are really commonly requested for people who are trapped inside. That's, I think, a really valuable resource in a way that it isn't to most of us. So
Yeah.
just another example of what we take for granted. So yeah, people ask for funny things. People ask for mysteries, westerns, romances. People ask for science books a lot, science magazines. National Geographic is probably the most universally requested publication that pretty much goes across all populations. The women up in 3K and the guys down in 156. Everyone wants National Geographic. Everyone wants People. Everyone wants Us Weekly. Everyone wants the Bellingham Herald or the Cascadia Daily News. Those are pretty much universally requested. And then every other topic that I think is reflected in like your community library setting. Roll up to the window, park the book cart in front of the window so that the patrons can browse from inside. Unlock the chow hatch, which is basically just like a maybe 15 inches long and 5 inches high.
Explain that again to me. So it's the chow hatch.
Yeah, it's where the jailers deliver the meal trays through.
It's basically a slot in the door.
It's a slot in the door
that you're sliding books through to the patrons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's at like mid-thigh level on me. So there's kind of a like implied lack of dignity to the exchange because both people need to kneel down in order to talk eye to eye. It's something I'm always conscious of, is always kneeling down and talking with someone through the hatch, eye to eye, and never standing and looking down on them while they're talking to me through the hatch. When I'm interacting with someone, with a patron, I can be like all people in that moment for those patrons. And if they're having a bad day and they're feeling like the world is against them, maybe their court case is not working out, or any given thing that's causing them distress, if I reflect back to them dignity and care and kindness and compassion, just in my manner and in my tone, and in what I'm willing to do for them. Maybe I forgot their book, but I'll go downstairs and get it for them, even though I don't necessarily have to do that. That's something that like really keeps me rooted in my approach to the patrons at the jail, and I always want to have them come out of the jail with like some feeling of like that they are respected and that they're cared for and that their wishes matter and that they're competent and capable, that they're all the things that they hope to be. That's what I can do for them, just even if it means having a 1-minute conversation.